Donald Trump has sparked outrage for his disrespectful failure to follow royal protocol when he met the Queen on Friday. Things didn't get off to a good start when the president left the 92-year-old monarch waiting for between 12 and 15 minutes in the 80-degree Fahrenheit heat when he was late for their meeting on Friday. The Queen, who looked unamused by the delay, was even seen checking her watch as she waited for Trump and Melania. And when the first couple's black Range Rover did finally pull up to Windsor Castle, Trump almost immediately breached rigid royal protocol. The American leader broke with tradition by refusing to bow to the Queen, instead greeting her with a hearty handshake. Thankfully, Trump didn't appear to treat the monarch to one of his notorious power shakes, which are so aggressive that he once left white marks on the hand of President Emmanuel Macron. The First Lady also met the Queen with a handshake, rather than the traditional curtsy. Bowing, for men, and curtsying, for women, are not mandatory when meeting a member of the royal family but is considered traditional and polite. But the Trumps weren't done. The president's biggest faux pas came when he was invited to join the Queen to inspect the Guard of Honor. Video of the moment showed Trump turning his back on the monarch and marching ahead of her as they walked past the troops, in what was a serious breach of protocol. The president looked out of step with the official choreography, causing the Queen to point tentatively and ask him to move to the left. However, Trump failed to pick up on the signal and instead came to an abrupt stop in front of her. The Queen abandoned her efforts to get the president to move and simply shuffled around him. Trump continued to stand stock still, staring at the Coldstream Guards, who were in their traditional bearskin hats despite the 81°F heat. The Queen appeared to leave him behind before she spurred him into movement again with a swift hand gesture. Royal etiquette states that one should never turn their back on the monarch, or walk in front of her. Prime Minister Theresa May, who greeted the Queen with a very low curtsy last time they met in public, backs out of the room after her weekly audience with the monarch, as all British Prime Ministers have before her. Even the Queen's husband of 70 years, Prince Philip, traditionally walks a few paces behind her in public. But apparently Trump had forgotten the rules, or chose not to follow them. He also faced a backlash for his rather sloppy appearance, leaving his jacket undone and tie long. The gaffes were quickly picked up on social media, where he was slammed for being rude and disrespectful to the world's longest-serving monarch.